Hello, Thursday the 15th of September. Not a very great day. It was quite boring in the morning and quite a bit frustrating in the afternoon, and nothing really much happened. This is the Euro US dollar, and you see that we actually started with a loss. This is the London Open. You wait, you have a buffer of 2 or 3 points, you wait for this to go down, and the market nicks you, and then it goes up. So that's the first loss. Could that be avoided? No, I mean this is really the only this is really valid. The only thing is that the market was already coming down from a pretty relatively big drop anyway. PT here we can't trade because it's too late. Lots of news, 1:30, 2:15, and then the New York Open anyway. So again, frustration because we had to filter this. This was 20 minutes before the 1:30 opening. It would have been great. You could get out here, but you know that has to be filtered. This one again, it's a valid short. I actually entered here. The problem with this is that once again it's the second leg. We've seen that after this big drops the market really doesn't follow through. So I had 1, 2, 3, 4, a little bit of a hairy moment, and then the fifth occasion I went out at break even, and then the market went up. Even less to do on cable. We had the same trade as the euro, so that should have been filtered, but in any case, because of correlation, but in any case, it was filtered because the low here was at 32.09, so you would have entered at 0.5 or 0.6, and that would have been too close to big round number. PT because you could have got out with a little point or a break even, and then this is the 9:30 news, and then really you have very little to do here. Maybe this one, but this is after 10 o'clock, so nothing to do. The drop happened before 1 o'clock, so you had really no signal whatsoever here, and there was nothing to do on cable. Quite boring and a little bit frustrating. That leaves me quite a lot of times to talk about US oil, which was much more exciting, although not always for the right reasons. Another loss. So for the first time in a pretty long time, actually, I have 2 consecutive losses this morning. Again, this is up. That's the signal. You have your buffer. The market goes up. It doesn't make it to 8, 9 points where you can actually put the stop at break even, and so I was stopped out here. Luckily, I could make my losses back almost immediately on this short here. You see the signal, and the market went down, so that was pretty good. The market then went up, and that would have been a good rally, but actually the signal was fired at 10 o'clock, so I had very, very little to do. So we're here at 1 o'clock, and you have a buy signal at 1, then it flickers a bit, and this is an advanced trade. I was quite eager to try to get something before the 1:30. It shouldn't affect very much the oil, but you know there were many news, so I would rather stay out, and I wanted to get in quite quickly. So this, as you can see, is the bar where the signal happened. So theoretically I should have waited for this. Waiting for this would have meant that I would have entered at a bad place, and it would have been just 15 minutes before news. So I rather took this one. and try my let's call it my luck in order to get to this point here before 130. That didn't happen, but at least I could close it to break even. You have no signal here. The signal is on this bar, and then you have this enormous bar at 230. Again, that's quite strange, because basically it's the stock market open, and it shouldn't affect oil. But anyway, it was a kind of freak kind of spike. The next bar rejected the pivot, and it was an inside bar. So my first reaction would have been to get in as soon as possible here, and that would have been a very good trade. However, just for the sake of it, I and try to stick to the rules, because I've already made some exceptions here. I just want to show that even if you waited for this to close, and so to have a valid signal here, you would have made a pretty good trade here as well. Now, in these situations, this is again a little bit of sort of advanced trade, because in this situation, the market is a fast market, and the market came down already 80 points, 60 points, and obviously you can't put your stop here, and I'm just using whatever it is, 20 points stop, in order to get this trade, because in my opinion it was really high probability. Then we had this signal here, which was triggered just before 4 o'clock. So there was another 10 points to be made. But the most interesting one is an advanced trade that I use quite often, and it's an early entry. You've seen it. I've done it a number of times anyway. So you have a downtrend in this case. The market stops. There is this pretty much an exhaustion bar. The market then retraces up, usually, almost certainly, to the break-even point, the breakout point, and the moving average, and then it goes down. Now, what do you do here? Well, if you want to have a re-entry, you have to wait until this point, and this is really too much. So what I do is I enter after the close of this bar here, and I would have entered. I entered at 51. The stop is quite small, and actually you have two possibilities. One is that it tests the previous lows, or maybe not this one, but this one definitely, and you already can see that you can have 10-15 points, or it not only tests, but it resumes the trending market, in this case down. In this particular case, I actually managed to have a little bit more than a scalp, and then the market went up. On this trade, as I said, this was just typical normal breakouts on a signal trade.